Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, are two great kings, the gods that the King James Bible speaks of. Which again, the true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who the world in ignorance calls Christ, true name is Yahweh Shai. Second of all, I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Elder Tahar and on down, that rule and teach well. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hopeful elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, so I just want to do a short lesson, short and transit lesson, or however long the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai allows it to go. And I want to name the video, I Wonder Why. All right, and Lord wills, brothers can see on the screen, the inspiration for this lesson comes from this article that I have here. And this is for fair use purposes only. I'm not using this for the monetary gains, just for educational purposes only. Fair use from the CBS News. And it says, White House considering plan to add permanent fencing on Pennsylvania Ave to bolster security. All right, so it says the Trump administration officials are discussing a plan for a permanent fencing on the block of Pennsylvania Ave near the White House around Lafayette Square in an effort to boost security and reduce the recurring costs of electricity and dismantling temporarily barriers for the special event. Sources familiar with the told CBS News. It says Pennsylvania Ave is an iconic street in the nation's capital, connecting the White House to the U.S. Capitol. It provides tourists and pedestrians with a famous view of the north the public entrance to the White House. It says by Friday, the decision has to be finalized and was still awaiting President Donald Trump's approval. It was a nice, immediately clear rather the president might object to the fencing of the reasons. The proposal is still permanently and not contractually have been hired. No contractors have been hired, under the plan being discussed. The U.S. Secret Service and the White House will retain the ability to open and close sections of the fencing as operational and security needs demands. All right, so that's all I'm gonna read over on that. And also, matter of fact, pause it real quick, pull up another article real quick. All right, Salakia, Lord wills, brothers can see on the screen. This article comes from The Hill. And it reads, fear erupts over Iran's desire to kill Trump. All right. So we know that, I think, what's his approval rating now? 30 or maybe even lower than that, 30% or 20% or something like that, his approval rating. Because his administration is doing, of course, a terrible job, a horrible job. The things have gotten a lot worse since he's been in office. And, there's been, two so-called assassination attempts on him. The one, I think, was actually in Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, where he got shot in the ear. And there was another one, which I don't think nobody took a shot at him at that one, if memory serves me correctly. When he was down here in Florida in Mar-a-Lago on his golf course or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a Jake, all right, that just got arrested and sentenced to like 10 or 15 years or something like that for posting shit on the internet talking about saying that he was gonna take Trump out or whatever. All right, so everybody and their mama's angry at this guy, all right, and his administration, especially the people here in Babylon the Great. And like this article is here saying that Iran is desiring, the people in Iran or the leadership in Iran desires to take this guy off the planet Earth. So, and he's also said that basically he's number one on everybody's hit list, basically. All right. So, and of course we know that, Simpsons prediction. All right, with them predicting that somebody's gonna again take this guy off the earth. So yeah, you got that, all that jazz and all that stuff going on. And again, he's doing a terrible job. So, they have to beef up security, to make sure, nobody, again, that is, to protect him or whatever, basically. All right. So it would make sense that they're, taking certain measures, such as building fencing around the White House, which I think they did that too for Biden. All right. When Biden was in office, they built a fence around the White House. And I believe there's an Illuminati card as well, with that shows the White House with fencing around it and people protecting it. All right. And another thing that comes to mind is that movie Civil War, which in that movie they were trying to get to the president to take him out. Which I spoke on that movie before, Through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Brothers never seen it. It's actually on YouTube now for free. If brothers haven't got a chance to see it, because it's definitely not worth spending your shekels on. But yeah, in that movie, basically the movie starts in the middle, and the whole plot of the movie is, a certain group or militia or whatever is trying to get to the president to take him out. All right. So yeah, I believe through the spirit that movie, because you got something called predictive programming, that movie was something that showed, the future, basically. All right, which again, the movie starts in the middle, and I believe, we're meant to play that movie out in real time. All right, because it never showed why, they wanted to take the president out. And again, I believe that we're meant to, play that movie out in real time. All right, or whatever. So it makes sense that they would, want to heighten security or whatever, and take extreme measures to protect this guy, because you got leaders in other countries that want to kill him, and people here domestically, foreign and domestically, that want this guy's head. All right. And again, things that keeps playing in my mind is that movie Civil War. All right, which, like the brother Amok, the brother in the camp, said, it's no coincidence that they made that movie free so quickly. It's usually on YouTube, for them to release a movie where it's free and it plays with ads and all of that, the movie has to be like at least 15 to 20, maybe even 10 some odd years old before they release it. But this movie, I don't think that movie is not even 2 years old yet, and they released it. All right. So yeah, it would make sense that they would do this. And then of course we know the scriptures. Of course, we'll go ahead and bring it out. All right, real quick. This 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Verse 16. But there should be sedition among men and invading one another, and they should not regard their kings nor princes in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Which the modern day kings and princesses and all of that today is your presidents, mayors, senators, all right, the so-called, leaders of your country or whatever. All right. And, it said the people should not regard them. All right. And nobody, likes this guy or respects this guy. They got, the MAGA people, they're even turning against him. All right. In crazy numbers now, they're turning against him. All right. So again, it would make sense that, they would, fence the White House off. All right. Again, take drastic measures to make sure this guy is safe, because again, people want this guy's head, foreign and domestically. All right. And again, I'm gonna see if I can find it, as a matter of fact, before I end the video, and I'm gonna put it up. But I believe again there's an Illuminati trading card with the White House on it, and people, and I believe it's a martial law card. I could be wrong, but I forget which one it is. But I believe that there's one fencing around the White House. I just forget the name of the card or what the card is called. All right, but again, at the end of the video, I'm gonna see if I can find it, and I'll put it out when I close the video out. But yeah, that was it. I just wanted to speak on that real quick. Just reading through some articles, I saw that one, and yeah, it's getting real. Now things are about to get a lot worse because they've started back. They started back bombing Iran. The war is back on full force again. So you got that. So things are about to get a lot more expensive, and things are about to get a lot more crazier. All right. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors again to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And peace and safety to you brothers that push this truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.